Hi, this is Todd with EsotericCarCare.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at ISM Coat by KAMIKAZE Collection. ISM Coat, where this fits into their product line, out of the non-professional only line, this is the highest product that they have available. It's been out for several years, and this is one of the very first products that we came on board with here at EsotericCarCare.com. One of the first products that we tested. Immediately fell in love with how well it worked, decided to bring on the entire product line. The Miyabi coat is our best seller. It comes in at $99 for a bottle. ISM comes in just above that at $139 a bottle. And the difference you get between the two, one is durability. ISM coat is going to give you 24 to 36 months durability, whereas Miyabi is going to give you 18 to 24 months of durability. Also with this, it has a little bit different look. The two coatings provide different looks from one another. The Miyabi coat kind of has a real brilliant shine to it, whereas the ISM coat provides a warmer, deeper, wetter, carnauba-like glow to it. And then when you combine the two with a base coat of Miyabi, top coat of ISM, you get a completely different look altogether. And for those of you who have seen our video on LaFerrari detailing beautiful Rosa Corsa LaFerrari, we did a base coat of Miyabi, a top coat of ISM. I don't think anybody will argue that's one of the best looking finishes that you've ever seen. It was absolutely spectacular. But even all by itself, this provides a great look. If you're looking for a nice, warm, wet look to it, that's what the ISM coat provides. Another thing about ISM as well, most coatings you have either a coating for painted finish and then you've got a coating for plastic trim, and you don't want to intermix the two. ISM is a little bit different. You can use it on both of them and it works absolutely spectacular as a plastic restorer and a plastic coating. It's going to last. You can take trim that's faded out almost completely gray, completely restore it to black with the ISM coat, and it's going to stay looking that way for years. You can't wash off the finish. It's not addressing. With ISM coat, one coat is all you need. It doesn't really like to be layered on top of itself, and that's a nice thing about it. You know, some coatings, they want you to put 3, 4, 5 layers of coating on it, but when you get a good coating like the ISM coat, you don't need that. One coat is going to be great to give you good durability and good finish. And one thing on colors, people are always asking, what do we recommend for which kind of color? Well, it really depends on what kind of look you're ultimately looking for, whether it's a brilliant shine or a nice warm wet glow to it. But having said that, you put this on metallic grays and you put it on dark blues and reds, it really brings a spectacular look to the finish. Absolutely spectacular. The first car that I had, that I put this on, was a metallic gray Acura TL, and it just looked absolutely amazing. I can put this on, or I put it on the summer, ran the car all winter long without any kind of maintenance whatsoever. And then when I did a basic cleanup in the spring, it looks like I had just applied the coating. This coating here, the nice thing about this is a little bit different hydrocarbon and glass coating formulation, different from the other products on the market. It is VOC free, and it is solvent free, and it is non-flammable. You open this up and smell, it hardly has any kind of smell to it whatsoever. So it's safe for you to use, and try doing that with some of the other products that are on the market. You really don't want to be smelling anything because it has such a harsh chemical smell. You don't get that with the ISM coat by any means. So from a safety perspective, it is really spectacular to use. Another way that we offer this, we offer it all by itself, which comes with a coating, applicator block, and a dropper. And speaking of the dropper, once you use this, you want to completely clean it out, replace the top back on it, because it will completely harden up on there and you're only going to get one use out of it. But we offer it in a pro kit at the same time, where we've got prep for cleaning the surface beforehand. We've got water spot remover for it for maintaining the finish. And then we've got overcoat, which is the maintenance spray, kind of like a light version of a coating, along with some towels. So everything in one part number to make it easy for you to use, whether you're a professional detailer or if you're a DIY person. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go out in the shop and we're going to go over the application process. It's pretty straightforward and very easy to use compared to a lot of products on the market, but by showing you the actual process, it'll make sure that your finish is going to last for a long time. So let's take a look out in the shop and we'll go over an application process with it. Okay, now that we're out in the shop, we want to take a closer look at how we go about applying ISM to the finish. Here we've got our beautiful jet black metallic 2017 991.2 Porsche Turbo S that we've already polished up. We've actually already put a couple of layers of Miyabi coat on it. This is a special show car for us here, so we want to get the best look possible, which is why we laid down Miyabi first. We're going to put ISM on top of that. We talked about it a little bit earlier in the video about how that creates a really fantastic look. And you know, ISM all by itself is really good. ISM on top of Miyabi just kicks it up a notch a little bit. Not only are we going to be applying this to all of the painted surfaces on this car, but all of the plastic trim. It's got a lot of plastic trim, the front bumper, the rear bumper, the lower side skirts, the intakes, a lot of stuff on here that we can protect with the ISM. Like we talked about, ISM is for both paint and for plastic trim. It works really well together to protect that stuff. So we're going to go over the process of it, show you what goes into it, how big of an area we're working at a time, and then we're done. We'll go back for some final thoughts. So let's get to the actual process itself. Okay, now that we're getting ready to do the coating of the vehicle, we're going to take our applicator block that we have cut down the sides so that the cloth fits in it nicely. That way your hand doesn't get cramped up. We'll go ahead and we'll wrap that up. You want to use a fresh suede applicator. Each time that you're using these, you will throw these away when you're done. And you also want to make sure as you're working through the process that your applicator is nice and clean. If you pick up any kind of debris on it, you want to pull it off and start with a fresh one. Now with our coating, as we do with all coatings, we want to take a look at it right when we open it to make sure that there's nothing on the sides, and we will go ahead and completely clean that off before we start and after we're finished, because this is a glass coating that you can get tiny little glass particles on the side, and if that were to get onto the applicator, you would scratch the surface that you just spent so much time coating. And while the ISM coat comes with its own dropper, we kind of like using the pipettes just because they're easy, disposable, and we can get accurate amount of product onto the surface. And the first time around, we're going to load a little bit more product on there than what we may as we're going for a while, because we want to get a good amount of it on there, kind of prime that surface a little bit. And once that's on, we're ready to apply to the surface. And as we're doing this, we're typically going to be doing one section at a time for ISM. Miyabi, we can go a couple of sections. ISM, we will go just one section. In this case, we're going to do the entire A-pillar as it goes back to the rear quarter panel, because there's no break point to do it otherwise. But we can do that whole section, and we're going to do straight line motions as methodical as we possibly can when we're turning our corners. We don't want to just go in there and try to rub it on. We want to make sure that we get it smooth, even application. You don't want to see the product running at all. If that's the case, you know you've used way too much. And here, now that we've gone over it in one direction, we're going to come back in a crosshatch manner, and that just makes sure that we get a complete, even coverage throughout the entire process. And we're going to repeat this everywhere around the car. Typically, we're going to be applying to the top surfaces first, and then we're going to be working our way down. That way we're not potentially leaning up against a panel that has fresh coating on it. And with this right here, even if we're getting a little bit of extra ISM onto the plastic trim, that comes just below that section, that's not a problem in this case because we are treating those with ISM anyhow. Otherwise, if when you're putting it onto an area and a little bit extra gets onto an area you're not wanting to put it on, then you just immediately take a towel, wipe that off, and it's not going to cause any kind of problems whatsoever. But once again, thin, even coverage is what we're looking for, and we want to use very methodical, straight line motions, and then turning it at the very end. We don't need to do a whole lot of overlap. It's just a matter of keeping everything straight, smooth, and even throughout the process. The more even of a coverage you get, the better that's going to help in terms of durability, and it's also going to help during the removal stage as well because you're not fighting really thick areas of product. The entire process for coating a vehicle, if you're doing it with just one person, should take you about 45 minutes to do. If you're doing multiple coats, like this case right here, we'd already completely prepped the surface, we polished it, we prepped it, and we did our first coating with Miyabi and then came back with ISM. In those cases, we're going to wait a couple of hours in between coats. We're going to apply Miyabi, remove it, wait a couple hours, then we can come back with ISM. If it works out that it has to be the next day that you apply the next coat, that's fine as well, just as long as the car doesn't go outside or get dirty or anything in the meantime. Now here Dan is just finishing up that application on that panel and making sure everything is covered. It's easy to walk around, look at your section to see if there were any areas that are missed. Once coating goes on, it has a darkening effect, so it's really easy to see. Likewise, when we do the removal of it, it's easy to see if we've missed an area because there will be darker patches where the product still remains. Now typically, I said this is going to be about 3 to 5 minutes because that's going to be how long it takes to apply it, and then you're ready for removal. And as a part of the removal process, we're using 2 fresh towels. This case are esoteric towels. These are the softest ones that we have. We like using a very high quality microfiber. That way we're not risking scratching the surface. If you spend all that time and you use a cheap towel, so to speak, you risk scratching it. But our first towel, and we do it in 2 different colors, that way we know which one is the first wipe, which one is the second wipe. Once you start moving around the car, it'd be easy to forget which one's which. But during that first wipe, we're looking to get rid of about 80% of the residue that's on the surface. You're going to see some little patches here and there. Then when we're going back with our secondary wipe, it should come off really easily to get that last bit of residue that's remaining. And then we'll stop and we'll take a look around it. And the adjacent surfaces next to it, like in this case, if we look down towards the bumper area or the door, Dan will be looking to make sure that he's getting all the residue that has been pushed to those adjacent panels at the same time, because you will get some in those overlapping areas. And as far as the towels are concerned, the towels are going to be fine to use. Typically in a normal sized car, you're going to use just 2 towels throughout the entire process. Then when you're done, we recommend throwing the towels away. Those are going to harden up with glass coating on it, and if you were to use them again after they've been sitting for a while, you will scratch up whatever surface that you're working on badly. So we don't want to do that. Could you potentially take those towels, immediately put them in water, and then immediately put them in the washer afterwards and save them? Yes, but if you're talking about working with very nice finishes and you don't want to have any doubt whatsoever, cost of a couple of towels relative to applying a really nice coating is not that big of a deal. So we actually recommend to people just throw out your towels and throw out your suede applicators that you use to put it on. Consider them like a wear item throughout the process. So once he goes through with his secondary towel, he's looking to make sure that there's no dark patches whatsoever. Some people refer to those as high spots. but you want to make sure that all of that is removed from the surface. It should come off very cleanly. There's not a whole lot of effort with ISM or any of the Miyabi or KAMIKAZE Collection coatings. You don't have to put a tremendous amount of effort. You're not, using a wet towel and doing all kinds of other convoluted processes to make it work well. Why? Because it is a very good product, and good products are easy to work with. And as you can see too, Dan is wearing gloves with it. We talked about the product being solvent-free, VOC-free, which is good from a safety perspective, but we always wear gloves at the same time because inevitably you're going to get the product all over you. So wearing some nice gloves is a good idea at the same time. Once the coating is on, we're going to make sure that it stays dry for a minimum of 24 hours, preferably longer, because those coatings will continue to cure for up to about 5 days. And after we've done our inspection, we make sure everything is good, then we're ready to move on to the next section. But as you can see, very easy, straightforward process to coat the vehicle, make it look absolutely fantastic. Just make sure that you get every bit of the product removed from the surface, because if you were to leave some on there and allow it to cure for a day or two, you will have to repolish to get it off, because it hardens up very, very well. And the reason I say that is because I have done that on my own vehicle before. I was putting coating in door jambs. I got distracted, phone call, customers visiting. I forgot about it. I came back the next day, saw that it was still there, and it took multiple compounding stages to get it removed. So once that coating on there, it is on there to stay. And here, as you can see, we're going back and we're coating the trim on this. As we've discussed in multiple occasions, ISM is capable of doing both paint and plastic trim, whereas the Miyabi coat is designed just for your painted surfaces. It will add a nice, rich deepening of the color. It will protect it for years. Water will bead on all of your plastic, regardless of the type of finishes. But that, really sets the car off, makes it look real good, gives you some good contrast. So that's about it for the application and removal process, and we will move on from here to give some closing thoughts. Okay, now that you've seen how easy it is to use ISM, you can tell that it's quite a bit different from other coatings on the market that require a lot of effort. This process is pretty straightforward, and the kind of results that you get with it speak for themselves. This car now is going to have multiple years of durability. It's going to look fantastic. It's going to have great hydrophobic properties to it. Most importantly, at least for me, since this is my vehicle, is that the maintenance on it is going to be much easier. It's going to retain that high level of gloss. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back into the studio area and have some final thoughts on the product line, and we will close it from there. Okay, now we've been out in the shop and we've gone over the application process. You can see how easy the product is to use, and you've seen some of the other video shots and some of the still photos that we've put in the video at the same time to show how incredible the look is with ISM Coat. It's absolutely a spectacular and one of our favorites here in the shop when we're wanting to get the best durability and we're wanting to get the best look that we possibly can. ISM is usually going to be involved with that. Also has very good hydrophobic properties to it as well. But don't just take my word on it. Go to our website, esotericcarcare.com, take a look at the ISM or the ISM Pro Kit pages, and take a look at the reviews that others have left behind. If you've got some feedback, we definitely appreciate you taking a few moments to fill out that form as well. And when you're done watching the video, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we're constantly updating new videos on detailing products, tools, and techniques. Well, that's about all for today for ISM Coat by KAMIKAZE Collection. EsotericCarCare.com. I'm Todd Cooperrider. Thanks. We'll see you again next time.